It's focused on that deadly attack on a synagogue in Jerusalem, Flo.
That's right. It's all over the press today. So those 2 Palestinians killing those 4 rabbis in West Jerusalem before being shot dead. And, of course, a policeman later died of his wounds. It's on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. You can see it here. That Jerusalem synagogue attack kills 4 rabbis. So 3 of those rabbis were American Israeli. 1 was a British Israeli rabbi. Let's take a look at the front page of The Independent. It says that nothing is sacred, and Jerusalem mourns the victims of that synagogue attack. You can see a photo there of people mourning. That exact same photo is also on the front page of The Guardian today, and it says that the murder of those rabbis in that synagogue really puts Jerusalem close to the brink.
Yes, this is the latest, of course, in a series of attacks, isn't it, Flo? Putting, really a dangerous escalation in the violence there, as you say.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the editorial of L'Opinion today. They put it quite well. They say that pessimists are right when it comes to the Middle East these days. Any idea of peace between Israelis and Palestinians seems like a mirage. And in fact, on the front page of L'Opinion today, there's a drawing of 2 doves, one a Jewish dove, an Arab dove, looking at this bloody synagogue today. That's on the front page of L'Opinion. And it says that, the dimension of the conflict between Israelis and Palestinians there's a new dimension. After the nationalist dimension, after the territorial dimension, there's now a religious dimension, and it calls on leaders to act now to prevent a clash of civilizations. So very dramatic words in L'Opinion. The Guardian, in its editorial, agrees, and it calls on both Israeli and Palestinian leaders to act to prevent this conflict from becoming a holy war. So once again, very dramatic terms there. It says that so far the reactions coming from Israeli and Palestinian leaders have been disappointing, and The Independent agrees in its editorial. It wonders, where is the leadership as violence scars Jerusalem? It says that for now it seems like the divide between Israelis and Palestinians is getting ever deeper. The situation seems hopeless.
You've had a look at some of the regional papers, haven't you?
That's right. I pulled out the editorial of Al-Quds. That's a Palestinian paper. Not much hope in their editorial today. They wonder, when will we ever get out of this vicious cycle? For now, it doesn't seem likely because Israel continues to close all the doors to peace. That, of course, is the opinion. The Palestinian paper, it says that it seems like Palestinians are going to have to continue their eternal wait for some sort of a peace treaty. I pulled out an article also from the Israeli press, from Yediot Aharonot. It wonders how to prevent the next terrorist attack. It says that Israel must act to contain the threat by all means available to its defense establishment. It must use a combination of offensive operations like checkpoints, police controls, preventive detention, and vigorous defensive action. This article calls, for instance, for more protective concrete barriers to be built.
Let's move on to something completely different now. Reporting The Guardian. This is about human trafficking in the Mediterranean.
That's right. This is a really heartbreaking report today in The Guardian. It's very interesting. Definitely recommend reading it. It points out that traffickers in Egypt and Libya are increasingly trying to evade Italian authorities by sending children to drive migrants to navigate these boats that drive migrants to Italy. And often they either trick, threaten, or kidnap these children. Sometimes they actually teach them how to drive these boats in return for free passage, but the risks are very, very high. The article points out that 18 children were jailed in Sicily this year on trafficking charges, and they face up to 15 years in jail and fines of hundreds of thousands of euros.
And we're going to end on a lighter note, a higher note, in fact, aren't we?
That's right. When you think about Bob Marley, you'd be forgiven to also thinking about pot.
You might.
And if you can read about this very interesting development in Time magazine, the official Bob Marley Marijuana is coming. Fans of Marley and marijuana can rejoice. It was just a matter of time, says Time magazine. So he's going to become the face of the world's first international marijuana brand. Basically, his family teamed up with a New York-based equity firm that specialized in marijuana products to create this brand. It's called Marely Natural. You can see a photo here of their promotion. They're going to offer Jamaican cannabis that, they say that Bob Marley himself really enjoyed quite a lot. To quote his daughter, she says, "My dad would be very happy to see people understanding the healing power of the herb." And this brand of marijuana will be available at the end of next year, where marijuana is legal, of course.
Okay, probably not here then. Marley Natural, though, watch out for it on supermarket shelves. Just round the corner from you, probably. Thanks a lot, Flo. Flo with International Paper, Stephen as well with business. Lots more news, of course, coming up. We'll bring you up to date with the latest situation in Jerusalem after the break. Plus, we're going to be following a Kurdish-Iranian woman, her battle just to be able to allow to fight Islamic State group militants. It's her story, really, coming up for you in today's Focus in the next half hour.